Hey, welcome. Welcome.
Welcome everyone.
How's
Welcome
everybody
back.
doing?
it's
How's
been a
life?
it's been a journey.
It's been a
It's
journey.
been a journey. I am tired, but
Me too.
yeah. I finished a big project for my work again. I feel like I do this like every 2 weeks.
Hey,
But I
that's
finished and now I'm kind of like sitting pretty and free
are
with it.
oh,
So
is it a satisfying feeling though at least? Like does it give you that does it scratch that itch where you're like, "Oh, I finished. I did it. It's
l-
done."
less of finishing like, oh, I've scratched it and it's never coming back, and more so, okay, I need to go ahead and work on something else because I can't keep doing this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
less ideal, but I
Less
feel ya.
ideal, less ideal, but it is
I
what it
feel
is.
ya.
We're not stressed too much about it. But yeah, stoked to be on the pod today. Oh my gosh, my dog is actually freaking out.
Guys, never guess what showed up in the mail today.
What showed up in the mail
What
today?
showed up?
Actually, two things. The first thing was a very wet and warped passport. That's a
Oh
great way to get your passport right.
no.
Oh no.
Funny thing is, both of our passports showed up at the same time. Hers was completely fine, normal.
Oh.
Yours
Uh,
is waterlogged.
Mine is wet. I think I have
Oof.
found the best use case for that really heavy suitcase for my magic cards that Eric gave me,
Oh, fantastic.
which is flattening it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
You're gonna have to heat treat that. Well, I mean, like, actually, can the fabric of the passport deal with the heat?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's like dry. It's just it was damp.
Uh-huh.
It might have been very wet at some point, and it's already gotten
It's
better.
definitely kind of wrinkled a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay.
you'll never guess the other thing that showed up. It was from Crunchyroll, and my wife bought it.
Was it
Hmm.
actually I don't know what it is. What
It is a vinyl record that is red and slightly see-through for the solo leveling
I
soundtrack.
knew it. I knew it was
Wow,
gonna be
he's
that.
a
That thing looks
simp.
dope.
He's
It
a
does.
simp.
Dude,
He's
it's
a
gonna be
simp.
awesome.
Dude, that vinyl does look so good. When I saw it and I was like, man, that's a cool looking
Don't be
vinyl.
fooled by the shiny vinyl, guys. Don't fall into this hobby. It's so dangerous.
It's
You'll go
it
Why?
you'll go
It's
to a
not.
vinyl store and just be like, "Man, I just need all of these songs
I
from
need
like my
I need all
childhood."
of
And
them.
then
I
and
need
then
all
like
of them.
you'll find an album from an artist that you do like, and it's like $50. And you're like, "Well, I have to have it because it's the only one here."
Is the in the so I don't know if it's still doing this, but there was a time right around 2019, 2020, 2021 where the vinyl market was at its highest. It like
Yeah.
in the 70s, era, it ballooned upwards, the 70s and 80s, it was huge. And
Can you guess
then
why?
it went down
Mm-hmm.
for a long time and then it just ballooned in like 2019.
Do you know why? Same reason why everything
Oh,
happened around 2018, 2019.
I don't know. What do you like?
People stayed home and COVID happened.
Well, I don't know if that's the case here though, because vinyl records were kind of this collector's item. They were on the rise even before COVID happened, I think.
So they were on the rise in 2017, 2016.
No, this it was like 20 I'll have to look it up to see the exact year, but
Mm-hmm.
it was
Mm-hmm.
it started having this huge rise.
I'm not surprised.
Rise.
Oh wow,
Rise.
poignant.
Uh,
Man, just be careful of them vinyls. That's all I'll
Most
say.
of the ones we've gotten haven't been that expensive, and they've been like from Walmart.
Yep, that's how it starts. And then you go to a vinyl store and you're like, oh, I'm gonna spend like an hour going through like three cartons and be like, why do I have six albums to the
Ash says it
side?
was the Tumblr girlies getting adult money.
I hope not. I mean, like my wife is a Tumblr girly, but no, that actually tracks. No, never mind. Yeah, no. It's
We
very
went to a
possible.
we went to a vinyl store before the flood that was on River Street. I
We
think with
did.
Eric.
We
Yeah.
did. That was a pretty good vinyl store too,
Mm.
honestly. So it looks like the rise started again in it looks like around 2010,
2010.
and then it ballooned in. It really shot up right around 2019.
Yep.
Yeah. So back in the day, of course, in the 80s, it peaked at 350 million
Yeah, no.
vinyl
like
record
it was
sales.
the
It's
only
like
way
crazy.
to listen to
Yeah, it
music
was just
for-
an insane level.
yeah,
And then it dropped to 0 million sales,
yeah.
essentially, all the way up until about 2010. And it's been on a exponential growth rate since then.
I believe
So
it.
now it's back up to right around 43 to 50 million sales.
People are really into analog right now. Like, I would not be surprised if you look at cassette tape sales as well, and they haven't started rising. I'm sure people are doing CDs as well.
Well,
But yeah,
Did y'all know that there was a vinyl video playing device?
I hate that.
It took so long to come out that it was like too late for it,
Yeah,
Jeez.
of
but
course.
it had advantages. And when you put
Oh.
it in, you put the whole container in. You couldn't take the
Huh.
vinyl out because you're not cleaning that. You can't get dust on this thing.
yeah.
You had to put
Has to be
the
vacuum
whole
sealed.
thing in it, and you would hear it go click, click, click. Like there'd be these loud mechanical noises of it accessing the vinyl
Jeez.
within. And it had like much better color and stuff than some things that were out at the same time. There's a great Linus Tech Tips video if you're curious where they go over it because they got one.
Mhm.
But eventually it starts to skip
Yeah, of course.
and literally like skips movie and that's
Skips an
terrible.
entire yeah, yeah.
Or not an entire movie, but like you
skip
just skip
scenes.
forward 10 minutes.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
whoa, wait a second.
We're like what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, the more you play it, eventually it's even worse and worse. So,
Jeez.
It's gonna be a no for me there, boss.
no.
So
Oh, I went to I don't know how many metalheads listen to us or anything like that, but I went to go see Loathe and Spirit Box on Saturday, and that was awesome. Loathe played some new music, so if anybody is into Loathe, they played some new stuff. It was really good. And if you
Nice.
guys are into like just like heavy vibey stuff, I check out Loathe.
okay.
They're
I'd
fantastic.
loathe to.
Loathe.
E.
I'm
Yep.
wearing the hat.
A Liverpool band.
Yeah, from Liverpool.
From Liverpool.
We are Loathe from Liverpool. We appreciate the love so much.
And then what was the other one you said?
Spirit Box? Yeah.
Loathe
Funny
and
enough,
Spirit
I'm
Box.
wearing the Origin shirt for that too.
Nice.
I didn't mean to do this, I promise.
But
But Spirit Box and Loathe, they're pretty good. They're heavier stuff, so like if you're not into metal, may not be for you.
Speaking of Liverpool, I watched the F1 race this weekend
Mhm.
in Japan. I was not in Japan. It was in Japan.
It was in Japan.
It was the most unexciting, uneventful race like ever. And
Boring.
it was very intense. But there was like no one passed anybody. Like Hamilton passed one guy, and then someone in the back passed two people.
That's
that was it.
boring.
Like the whole race.
So like it just
Yeah,
everybody
that's
held position
unfortunate.
the entire
It's
time.
because of the track. There was no weird weather for one, and for two, it's like you basically keep the position that you started in, and it's a crazy track because the guys are doing like 5.5 Gs on a turn for like a long time, and that's after like a series of turns. So it's like really hard on them physically.
Yeah, exhausting.
yeah,
Has to
I
be.
could see that.
But there's like nowhere to pass.
Okay, so it's constantly like you're
So-
just trying to survive the track.
Yeah, but
Mm.
it's weird because it's a real track. Because that's more so what happens in a city.
What are you?
where they have like streets with very small spaces, and that's when they really can't pass each other. So I don't know. It was weird. It was funny. They have like this cool down room for the top 3 where they all sit together and they're like watching the highlights, and at the end they were like, "That's it? Wow, like nothing happened." That's what they were all like, "That's weird."
Do they do like in my head you explain this experience and I'm like, why don't they do something like a time trial based type of thing? Do they do time trial events or anything like that where it's like
Where it's just like open track and it's just like, hey, beat
yeah,
the
yeah.
next time.
It's like
Yeah.
everybody gets 3 laps
go.
and their
Yeah.
best lap time is like their entry or something like that.
Well, you can't do that because in reality you have weather and wind.
Oh, the
So
variable of like reality is what you're saying.
you could win just because there was a gust of wind behind you at the right moment.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
close.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
You know, so they don't, but there are very interesting races like the one in Miami coming up where it's called a sprint race. And so instead of doing 3 practices on Friday,
You do
1
one.
qualifying, 1 race,
Yeah.
there's 2 races and only 2 practices, and they qualify for that. So those are really exciting. And they've been changing the rules and requirements for the car to make it more interesting. So that like the wind coming off of the car in front of you is less dirty. They call it dirty air, so that you have a better chance of getting close to them and having more interesting things happen.
Okay.
And then of course they have the DRS system where they just like basically gain 20 horsepower by changing the flap from downforce to no downforce. But there was only 1 DRS zone, and that's on the front straight for this track.
So you have to. Okay. I see.
So that's like the only place,
Yeah.
and
Only
you
time
can't use it unless you're within 1 second of the person in front of you.
What?
Yeah, it's weird. But then like a
Okay.
track that they were at in Australia has 4 DRS zones.
And so they're
So
flying in
they're-
Australia.
Yeah, there's passing going all over the place. So
That's sick.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely it sounds far more interesting, at least. For
the
sure.
most interesting thing was though, Red Bull, oh my god, they're crazy. They had a rookie as one of their new drivers next to the world champ, Max Verstappen. He didn't do well in the first 2 races, so they kicked him out, put him in the junior, not the junior team, but like the Racing Bulls team, which is like where they test people out, and they promoted Yuki, the like only Japanese driver. And he was doing so well until he screwed up in qualifying. And he's the guy that passed 2 people. But he was still ended up in like 12 because he was so far back.
He was behind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. You know what's even cooler than that, though? The premise of this episode.
Yeah.
it's whiskey time. So everybody will kind of remember, if you've been keeping up with the podcast, that at the end of last year, I was able to go to India and get a bunch of different whiskeys, particularly from the Paul John distillery. And as it is a special episode, it is the 50th episode of the Taphaven podcast. We had to do something special. So today, the boys will finally be able to try
PJs.
some of the yes, we will get to try PJs. And if I had known
I should've
early
in my
enough that
PJs.
that was what we were
we
going to
could've worn
do, we could have worn pajamas.
Oh.
I think
we
like
didn't.
literally I literally got PJs for my birthday, and they're all dirty, I think. But I got these what is it called? MeUndies PJs that are like short
Yeah,
sleeves
buddy.
and short shorts with pockets. Oh my god, dude. So good.
Nice.
So good. Look, my wife got me MeUndies PJs a long time ago. They're long sleeves, long pants, no pockets except for on your little one chest. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with my phone?
No, shut up.
The-
Shut up. Just shut up. No,
Bad design.
absolutely. No. All
right, so which one are we
Not gonna humor it.
So we have 3 separate whiskeys today, and I'll kind of show all of them and tell you what's going on here. So we're only doing special editions, by the way. So these are extremely hard to find Paul John whiskeys. Paul John is pretty difficult to find in the U.S. anyways. They don't export a lot of things, and typically they only export to like Europe and Scotland and things like that.
People close enough for them, you know.
Yeah. So we have today the 2023 Paul John Christmas edition. This was a special release. This is a single malt whiskey. It is in ex bourbon unpeated
Ex bourbon.
Ex bourbon casks. Unpeated.
Oh, I see.
Finished in a single vintage Colheita Tawny Port cask.
What's a Colheita?
So we'll have to look that up because I can't remember off the top of my head.
That's a lot going on.
All right.
So yes, there's a lot going on with all of these whiskeys, to be fair, because they are the special edition whiskeys.
Okay.
So they aren't your average run of the mill.
How are we gonna cleanse our palate between these? Because I feel like there's a lot going on, and in order for us to actually know
More whiskey.
More
whiskey. I see.
That's the trick. That's the trick. So the second one is 2024 Christmas edition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for every Christmas, Paul John likes to release something new, and each one of them is very interesting. This one is aged. It's a single malt whiskey aged in Caribbean rum and American virgin oak casks.
Okay, virgin oak.
Yes.
Because you know it's woody.
Yes. So this one's gonna get that wood. It's gonna get that rum, those sugar flavors. Oh, very interesting.
Okay.
But where's the rum gone?
Where's the
There's
rum?
no. That's the thing, though. There's no rum actually in the whiskey.
Where's the rum?
And then finally,
There's not.
every year, in addition to their Christmas edition, they release what they consider to be the pinnacle of their whiskey that year. And for 2024, that was the Mitana.
Okay.
And this is an Indian single malt whiskey. And every single one of these, by the way, you know, me and my stepdad really enjoyed reading some of the descriptions. I feel like India decided to, you know, how you see some of those videos and you're like, they can't possibly go crazier and harder than this, can they? And that's what reading these descriptions sound like. So let me give you a little bit of this.
You're 5 years old.
Wonderfulness. Mitana by Paul John of the Paul John Zodiac series is named after the Indian counterpart of the zodiac sign Gemini. Sophisticated aromas of licorice with gentle beeswax
Gentle
Lead-
beeswax.
lead to a luxuriant delivery of Olmo honey on crisp toast.
Crisp taste.
Are these like
Tinder-
bees that don't sting or something? Like,
I
Yeah, it's gentle honey, man.
I don't think anybody knows what these bees do. But this person looked it up, that's for sure. Tender notes of vanilla, chewy flavors of coffee mocha, orange peel, with delicate spice float on active tannins.
I don't believe it at this point, Eric.
While
I don't believe it. You've already gone
While-
too far.
while gentle oils
No.
enjoy gists
No.
of dark cocoa tones.
No.
Nat, I'm not halfway done yet. The finish is gratifyingly long, complex, with
that's what she said.
with
That is
multi-toned
definitely what she said.
Multi-tone.
with
what?
multi-toned sugars and delicate honeys.
Delicate. Dude, they really like that soft, delicate
Hey,
stuff.
hey, they love it. They love it. Renowned for contradictive strengths,
Ooh.
the characteristics of Gemini are epitomized by this Indian single malt as mesmerizing layers of austere, dry tannins
Dear.
are challenged in
Okay.
equal measure by resplendent sugars and mocha on delicate oils.
Splendid sugars. Wow.
Big, beautiful, and always measured by balance.
Whoa, there's the last bee.
let me just say.
You know what my bottle says?
Mitana.
Mitana.
Now that was just the Mitana. I want to say,
Oh my God.
one day I'll create a YouTube short for everybody of me with just. It'll be like those wonderful Windows 10 backgrounds where the grass is just, the scene from, what's it called? The Gladiator, where he's rubbing his hand along the grass.
Yeah.
I'm just going to show that with me reading off the other two from the other two whiskeys because they are just as hard.
Just as nutty.
Just
Let's
as
go.
nutty.
Okay, where do we start with this freaking
So
melange?
I think we go in order. So I think we start with the 2023. We
Okay.
move to the 2024.
Okay.
And then we finish with what they consider to be the prime example of whiskey from their distillery. Now,
Okay.
I will say, I love Paul John. I actually have another one, but I've been debating not even covering it on the podcast for a number of reasons. One, I don't think they deserve the extra eyes on them. I don't really support the guy who runs it. And the guy who runs it is kind of scummy, and I just don't know if it's worth us even going over it.
Fair.
So, and we can talk a little bit about that, and we can bash them on the podcast. I'm 100% down for that.
Okay, cool.
But so these are all single malt whiskeys. Let's stick our
Let's start with
nose
the
into
23 there, boys.
into this wonderful thing. Now, if you remember correctly, Indian whiskeys all have to be under a certain proof, and that's about 48%, 50%. You legally can't have an Indian whiskey above that, which is why you're only able to get the cask strength if you go to the distillery and they bring you into the basement and secretly give it to you. Which, by the
Which
way,
they
was
do
the
not
best
do.
experience
Which they
ever,
do not do.
if it existed.
If it existed.
Oh,
So this one
She's very
smells immensely of apples.
yeah, I get dude, 100%. I get apples, a little bit of banana almost.
Brown sugar in there.
Like I get like a banana funkiness, almost like you might get from a.
Whoa.
You know I hate banana, right?
I don't like banana either. I'm just kind of going off what it is.
That's right.
So I changed the position I was smelling it in, and it got like apple cinnamon oatmeal.
Ooh, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
does
has
have a
like an
breakfasty
apple
kind of feel to
cinnamon
it.
breakfasty type of thing. So this is the one that is aged in ex-bourbon casks, unpeated, finished in single vintage Colheita tawny port casks. So we should
Honey port. Okay.
Yeah,
it
so we're
explains,
gonna get
a
some
lot of
sweetness.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of sugar notes on this.
Well, friends,
Is it time?
cheers to
One of
episode 50,
three.
to one of three. Oh, let's get
Cheers.
those cheers emotes in.
Cheers.
right.
Spices.
Mm-hmm.
Spices, apple. I get the
That's a single
oatmeal
malt.
again. You get the maltiness for sure. You get the single malt in there, but it's kind of cinnamon apple spicy.
It's got a funk at the top.
It does have a funk.
Like they say unpeated. I taste peat.
I think what you're actually tasting is malt,
Yeah,
but I
it's
don't know
definitely-
that you've had whiskeys that only have peat that don't have malt. Do you see what I'm
They
saying?
don't
Like,
have- I see what you mean. Yeah. I have connotated the fact that peat is supposed to taste this way with the fact that it's also peat and malted.
yes. And
Peat is
so
malted.
now that you have something that is only malt flavor,
You're like, oh, this tastes like peat.
yeah.
Ew.
But peat is
That's what she
definitely a
said.
different thing.
Life is like a bottle of bourbon.
Life's like a bottle of peat, and I just like peat, you know.
Never know how much peat
You
you're gonna
never
get.
know how much peat you're gonna get. You want to keep on going, brother.
Bubba,
Man.
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
Dan.
There it is.
So
Okay.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what y'all think. Like, obviously, I have talked about some of these whiskeys and my experiences at the Paul John Distillery, but what is it?
I see what you mean.
What is
I
this
see
one?
what you mean. Like where the experience is kind of based around the strength of this whiskey. Like flavors are good. Like I don't hate it. It's also like that thing where we already know between me and Anthony at least with outside of just like all three of us, like ABV is very important for us. That being said, even with the low ABV, this is tasty. Um, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm wondering if like if this is the only note though, if that makes any sense. Like there's spice and it's sweet
And malty.
and malty.
I think so. I think another lens to look at it through is the fact that, and the way that I see it, if you like single malts, this is a very tasty single malt,
It's a very tasty single malt. Yeah.
and they just do a solid job. And there are a lot of single malts that I do not like.
Hmm.
And
It's not
these
malty
all,
enough.
I could see that. It definitely is not as malty as some of the other single malts we've had, or a lot of single malts in general. This one is
I
very
kinda love it.
subdued.
I kind of love it, you know? Like on that initial just like mouth taste and then like swallowing down, it's not kicking you in the teeth. It's got flavors. It's got lasting power for being the ABV it is. Like I still have the flavor in my mouth. I'm guessing that's the oiliness of the spirit, but it's just balanced very well. Like I don't have to grimace my way through it like some of the whiskeys that we have had. Where I'm like, all right, let's go ahead.
How does that work? How did that
Sorry,
work?
I just blew Eric's mind a little bit.
How did
Did you
He's not
black
a-
and white his
How did it-
emoji?
He's not a Twitch power user.
that's crazy?
Did
I
you
didn't
go
know
in
that was a
and-
thing.
Did you change the CSS of it?
I mean, if I told you my ways,
Shut up, Anthony.
The
Shut up. How dare you? If you're
Like,
if you're not gonna tell me, then just say you're not gonna tell me. Don't tell
like,
me a
I mean,
story.
check
Tell me
this
that you're
one
not
out.
gonna do it.
this one's
Sick.
got sunglasses.
Sick.
That's
Love it.
crazy.
Now, if you're not gonna tell me, get it out of my face.
All right, bye. Good podcast. I'm out of here.
Like eyes, baby.
That's cool though. Wow.
How do you feel about this, Anthony?
I feel like it has a lot of good mouthfeel, which is interesting. It smells really good. There isn't a whole lot of flavor. It doesn't taste like it smells to me. It doesn't have
taste
terrible
like it
flavor,
smells. Okay.
but it doesn't have I don't know. There's nothing sweet, even though it smells sweet. But it does this like tingly thing with the sides of the tongue, and then after you are done like swishing, it transitions to like the top, and it kind of burns, even though it's not obviously not that strong. So yeah, I mean I like it. I'm gonna try it again, see how it goes.
Is this your? Oh Jesus! Is this your second time or third time? Fourth time. Okay, good. Okay, good. I
And I'm
can
gonna-
see. I can see what you mean.
So
But-
before because we'll do it all at the end. Let's put our nose deep into number 2.
Oh shit! All right, let's go.
Uh-oh, I finished off the first one. I'm gonna
You
have to
saved
refresh
it.
it.
So did I. Oh no! Oh, this one's different.
So this
Very.
one obviously is finished in Caribbean rum
I
casks
get that.
Where's the
and
rum?
American virgin oak casks.
You get some
And
coconut
immediately,
off the top of that.
immediately on the nose, I get something more akin to. I'm gonna say instead of coconut, I get more of this cashew
Getting
nut.
a nut.
Yeah, like a cashew nut, not a cashew, a cashew nut. It's part of like the coconut family, and they're in India.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a slightly different, but this almost has a
There's a smooth nuttiness to it.
yeah.
Eric might have just gotten his first bits, unless they didn't go to him.
Incredible.
Oh, my
Apparently-
first bits.
You can gigantify an emote with bits.
Oh, I didn't. Show up in
Oh,
my
I
share
see
chat.
that you
We
did.
can
However,
only-
you gave me bits the first time,
Oh,
the
crap.
first day.
Ah,
So
I can
you
do
are the
that.
first and
the
second bidder.
longest special.
You can only see the gigantified emote in your chat, though, I think.
Interesting. I see it. No, I see it in the shared chat. I think that I have.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I think.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't see a giant though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not gigantified.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
mine
you're
isn't
right.
either.
I see
paid
it,
for that.
but it's not big.
I can't believe I paid for that.
That's
Okay. After coming back to it, now that we've investigated the jumbo emoji,
Yeah.
I'm getting into like the guts of this one, and I'm seeing a pattern. I'm connecting the dots between the single maltiness because I found them.
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get the single malt in your head, it's hard to get out. Like there's a malty
yeah.
flavor.
I wish it's like it's the M hole. Like you can have or something like that. You know.
Well, it's pretty oily. This one's a
Yeah.
bit more oily.
Yeah. How do you
That-
know it's oilier?
So
It's stuck on my tongue.
Oh,
so
you
yeah,
already
you can
drank it?
either feel it or
I saw Eric drink it.
Oh
Yeah.
God, guys.
So let me see if I can
know.
get this zoomed in so that you can actually see. I got to cover my eyes, I think. So, do you see on the glass? Oh, come on. There's like oil like sticking to the glass here almost.
Guys,
Oh my gosh.
that one fucks.
Dude, this one has that typical rum flavor kind of mixed in.
This one's good.
I almost followed up on you, but I was like, wait, that's our one, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
get
our one. Yeah, I
You
can't
get
say
one?
it again. Nope, that's it.
We get one.
It's fine.
You get one.
We get one. We
That'll
are the
set me off.
diehard guys, so we gotta keep that
Gotta keep it
PG-13
down. Gotta
rating.
keep it down. All right, kids, go to bed.
Yep. This is
Yeah.
after dark.
Oh man, and even after the drink, now it smells great. Oh my gosh, this is the ex bourbon, right?
So no, this is the first one was the ex bourbon.
Yo,
This
one
is
smells
the
like
Caribbean
ex-bourbon.
rum and
Yeah.
American vintage oak casks. Virgin oak casks. So that means it's using white American oak, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't used for anything else. It wasn't
Mm.
used for a bourbon. It wasn't used for anything.
Mm.
It's just virgin oak, unused.
Mhm.
Are you telling me that this will turn me into a pirate and help me slay vampires?
Yes, that is
Well, actually-
exactly what I'm saying.
Not
Truth.
just any vampires, but the originals. Isn't that right? It has to be a white oak stake
Was it a white oak steak?
to kill the originals. It was a white tree. That's all I know.
I can't remember. In my
Like
head,
white wood.
I'm mixing up two scenes. I'm mixing up the scene in the originals where that is the case, and the scene where they use what I think was American white oak
Yeah.
to kill the trickster in Supernatural.
Oh yeah, it's actually killing there because in the originals it's a stun. They just go to sleep. You can't actually kill those like, ever.
Well, in Supernatural, it wasn't actually a trickster, and it didn't
It was
kill
a-
him either.
Wait, isn't he the angel?
Yeah.
Freaking
Yep.
jerk.
Yep.
Freaking jerk.
So like imagine this. I'm going to this distillery and I'm trying these whiskeys and this is what I'm trying. And then they say, "Follow me to the basement." Like I kid you not. This is like the Goo Goo Gaga version of
The goo goo gaga.
of the eloquent PhD paper that they
in the
can't
basement.
sell that sits in their basement.
Oh man.
This is why we should buy a barrel for Taphaven.
I would buy a barrel of that one. That one's
Does that mean in the basement they keep Lady Gaga?
dude.
Maybe. In a
Bro.
barrel. So
Too soon. She just dropped some new heat. You can't.
She did? I didn't know.
No, it's a great single. I forget what it's called.
You know
right
what is a great single? Itty Bitty. Go
Itty
listen
Bitty.
to Itty Bitty by Ashnika.
Ashnika. Okay, putting it on the list here.
Itty Bitty. Oh
Itty
man, it is
bitty.
better than it should be.
Okay.
It is.
I got it pulled up so I can listen to it
Itty
after the
bitty.
podcast.
Do you see the cover art, Eric?
I do see the cover art.
It's hilarious. You'll understand once you listen to it.
Okay. I do see the cover art.
You can
So
listen
Alright.
to it non-stop.
now
Very well.
those two are their fun releases for the year.
Fun. Okay.
The next one is the release that they bring to the competition. And
Oh.
if you can see it, the box actually has it. They ended up winning four medals for this one. They got the third finest whiskey of 2021 by the Whiskey Bible at 97 points. They won a double gold at the World Spirits Competition. They got a gold medal at the Spirit Selection in 2021, and they were the gold winner at the 2021 New York International Spirits Competition with 94 points.
Y'all,
So-
this is a first for me.
What?
I have never seen, I don't know if you'll get it on camera, a bourbon or a whiskey have actual tears.
Oh yeah, no, they fully like developed into like round little drops.
Yep.
And they
as
drop
fell-
singularly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they weren't even dropping right away. At first, it was just like,
Yeah, it
Tearing
does
up.
like a dotted line type of thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if
It's
you can get that on
weeping.
the
It's
camera.
actually weeping.
Oh, a little bit. Oh man, it was there for like a second.
Oh, I smelled it.
So again,
Yeah,
typical
Mhm.
single malt.
honey.
Now, let me see if I can find it. I know it. I know they told me, and
it's
I
great.
have it written down somewhere.
Not
They
coffee.
have.
You guys are trying too hard. Smell it.
Let's see. Oh, me had to smell it.
I feel like I get apple again.
Apple?
You don't smell apple?
Apple? Take a cleanser, bro.
Take a cleanser. Do a barrel roll.
Take a cleanser and get your nose in there. That went into the wrong hole. You got to put that in your nostrils.
I thought about it.
I know you did. Get yourself a neti pot action. Just be like,
Oh.
So
I've never done that, and I'm afraid.
me too.
I'm
I've never
gonna-
done it either.
I'm going to be real, and this might just be this subliminal messaging that they have done. I smell honeycomb.
I get honey as well.
I get the honeycomb, and I get a little bit of mocha, like a chocolatey coffee type of nose.
I think the chocolate's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, no chocolate.
Oh wait, no. Hold on.
I get that. I get like a mocha type of
I'm getting
thing.
like an apple cinnamon Pop Tart again.
I think you're fucked, man. Dang it! I said it again. Oh no!
Oh man, it's
we've been
demonetized.
demonetized. We've been
Our channel's
banned.
done.
We just got shadow
The
banned.
YouTube is done.
Anthony. Blame
We're never gonna get
Anthony.
any more
I didn't
views.
Mean it. I didn't mean it. I
We
take
might as
it
well pack
back.
up now. Episode 50, last episode of the podcast.
No.
Oh, the cops are here. Oh no.
Oh my god.
He's the worst. Exactly.
He's the worst. Oh, it's
Sketch
Tony!
flick. Tony in the house. Let's go.
Oh my God, Tony.
Boo
the
this man!
Boo him. Get him out of here. Get him out.
The original, the prototype is here.
The
Tony,
prototype.
how's the pink? How are the cherry blossoms doing? Tell me you get to see them like every day.
Oh,
Is
man,
Is it cherry?
that's so
Yeah,
dope.
no, it is.
It
the
is.
season, right?
It's cherry
Yeah.
blossom season. In
Yep.
Formula One, there was a car that repainted it just to show cherry blossoms. It was the Haas one, like the
Oh,
only
wow.
American team. It's
We're
pretty
gonna have
good.
to get you on the show one time, Tony.
Dude, heck yes.
Yeah,
We
do
got to
some
get
Japanese
Tony on the
whiskey.
show. Yeah, we'll have to do a Japanese whiskey
Yeah,
and get him on the show.
for sure, for sure. We'll have to figure it out. He's only free at certain times, though. He's on a strict
Yeah.
schedule. He's
Like right
actually doing,
now.
he's doing real good, though, guys.
Hey, let's
There's
go.
some good stuff coming down the pipe for Sketchflix. So be open
Yeah.
to it if you are a creative who is interested in drawing
Heck
or doing
yes.
any form of writing. If you're trying to figure out a way to make a living doing your creative art for those who are young and trying to figure it out, he's a huge resource of information. So
Nice.
follow Sketchflix if you can at Sketchflix on YouTube. Sketchflix.
Yep,
and
I didn't have him on the stuff. I just did all the follows. Let's go.
We're getting some secret news.
You got some secret news.
Oh,
I think you might
secret,
be,
dude,
is he-
dude.
what?
Okay.
Hold on.
I
Hold on.
already
Hold on.
hone in, lock in.
Lock DF in.
I was
How do
about to
we-
say.
How do we make him a VIP?
Anime Matsuri.
Anime Matsuri.
Wait, what?
What?
Are you coming down to America for
Yuka.
Anime Matsuri? No. Is she coming through?
Do
Oh,
explain. Do tell.
Guest. Oh,
let's
yes!
go.
In Texas?
Oh,
Yeah, it's in Houston,
yes!
right?
Dude, hell yeah. I'll be there. Fuck yeah.
Wait, what
Hell
day is
yeah,
that?
dude.
July
Oh,
11th.
that's so sick. Yeah, boy.
July
Get over here
11th.
and get this Texas loving. Working on the
Boy.
negotiations right now.
Let's go.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Do you know what
she's
she's
not-
showing up for?
She's not even on the list yet.
Yeah, not yet. So
What?
secret news. Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell anybody.
But no.
Oh, wait, that's 2024.
Oh, California. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sick. That's so
Califia.
awesome. Fingers
Let's
crossed.
go. Dude,
Fingers
that'll be
crossed.
so hype.
Anyway, we were talking about whiskey before you showed up. Penny is stock. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah,
That's-
brother. Yeah,
So,
we'll have
yeah.
to go ahead and do a whiskey tasting with Tony at some point in time.
Dude, heck yes.
Oh,
I
have we
am
drank
in.
this yet?
I haven't. Let's go.
Okay, Anthony, post up, break bread.
Smells different. Panty and stocking.
Mhm.
Hey, Sketchflix. Highly recommend listening to Itty Bitty by Ashnika. You won't regret.
You won't regret.
It's a bop. It's a bop.
Okay.
Oh,
I wanted
No.
this to be more than it was.
really?
Yeah. I wanted this to be more than it was.
So I can give my little bit of bias. I actually like this one the best, but I am prone to darker flavors. So I love the darker, almost raisin type of flavors that this one really leans hard into.
This one's powerful. Like
It
an
is
insane
powerful.
amount of mouthfeel or tongue
Yeah.
feel.
I agree. And
So-
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say though, as y'all know, ever since I started playing Marvel Rivals, I've made like the tip of my tongue numb. So
Oh, you know what? Second run was good. I had to clean my palate.
Ah, okay. I
Second one was
also
good. Yeah.
I don't know. So this feeling, it happens for a few different whiskeys for me, but it like explodes outward in how your mouth gets tingly. So when I drink it, it's almost like it starts at the tip of the tongue, like, and then explodes outwards in a circle.
That's
and
what we
your
call
mouth
juicy
becomes-
there, buddy.
Yeah, dude, it's like
Yeah.
it's got
That's-
some juice
when
to
I-
it.
When I say juicy, that's what I mean. It's
Gotcha.
whenever it turns my mouth into a blueberry.
I feel like the commonality for these with me is the mouthfeel. They are limited to
Dude.
48%, yet they all
they
have
to-
a
they
lot
have
of
to flex
mouthfeel.
that.
Dude,
Yeah.
and they kill it. They kill the mouthfeel on all of these whiskeys. Like, I will say that was something that was consistent across the board. I tried, guys, I drank a lot of whiskey that day, but I think I tried close
believe
to 14 different Paul John whiskeys that day. And every single one of them had a few consistent things. They all nailed the malt flavor. Every single one of them kept true because that's what he wanted. Paul John's view was he loved single malts. And if you don't
I
like
was
single
gonna
malts,
say this is probably all single malts, huh? Yeah.
they're all single malts. And you might not be a single malt person, and that's okay. This ain't gonna be your whiskey probably. They're tasty, but they taste like single malts.
I
Now,
could see somebody being about it though, because I don't love single malts. But continue.
I
Sorry,
could
keep
too,
going,
but
keep
some
going.
people are like, no, I don't like single malt, But every single one of them was consistent. The malt flavor was solid. Then every single one of them coated your mouth and had a great mouth feel. And every single one of them gave you some tingle, even at a fairly low ABV, and they hit above their weight class.
How do they do that?
So I'll tell you what. So I talked to the guy for a few hours, and I'll tell you what his marketing answer was to me. And I don't think this is the case, and I think I may have said it on the podcast previously, because every whiskey, when it's inside of a barrel, breathes inside of the barrel. Essentially, it evaporates, it seeps into the wood, and pulls back in based on the heat, and temperature, and humidity. In India, where they're at, they are in a super warm, tropical, humid climate. And so their marketing answer is that the whiskey there breathes into the wood so much more than other places in the world. So when you put the whiskey in, it's traveling through that wood. They said that something like a 4 to 5 year whiskey is more akin in taste for them to a 10 to 15 year whiskey. And that's how they get those complexities, is by getting that timing right and not over aging it or under aging it and finding those sweet spots.
There's no such thing as overaging it, but okay.
So funnily enough, we haven't had, and I've actually been meaning to do this for a while on the podcast and I haven't done it. We have yet to have a whiskey that was bad because it was overaged.
Oh.
But overaging does exist. There are things that happen when you get to a certain age, and different whiskeys taste different at different ages. So that age is different for every whiskey depending on the climate and the style of whiskey. So bourbons, for example, people oftentimes, they've done blind studies and things like that. Bourbons tend to taste best from year 7 to 22.
That's a big window, but I get you.
It's a big window, but almost every bourbon that you have that's aged longer than 22 years. For example, a lot of people like the 20-year Pappy Van Winkle, but the 25-year Pappy Van Winkle almost exclusively is disliked by the same people that love the 20-year.
I mean,
And
what's the price tag on a 25 though?
The 25-year ends up costing way more. But at the same time, there are whiskeys you can get that are older that aren't that expensive, but have the same comparison and same blind tastings done on
age. Gotcha.
Right. And people are like, dude, that one just isn't as good as the 18-year.
Because it's a bourbon and it's old. It's out of its age range.
Yes.
Gotcha.
There are sweet spots, essentially. And so now, for better or for worse, we just haven't had one. The older whiskeys that I've tried with y'all, that I've brought onto the podcast, have been ones that were aged meticulously. They were perfect aged. But at some point, I would love to get a whiskey that has been overaged and just isn't good, to kind of show you what happens to the flavor.
So it tastes bad.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. I wonder what that is like. I wonder if it's like a souring or something. Don't explain it. I want to experience it.
Yeah. That's entirely fair.
I don't want. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go through it and just take another little look-see through the basket.
I already know what my favorites are. I'm ready to go. I'm suited and booted.
Yeah.
I already have them like set up on my table right here. Right. That. Yep.
Yep. That's the one.
Yep.
Oh man, come back to that Mitana and smelling it after the other two. Oh my goodness.
Sugar. Which one is it? This one? Yeah, this is the Mitzvah.
Yeah.
And empty bourbon glasses did not age well. Huh?
Lead the charge into the frontier.
Forward, my brothers. Okay.
Paul John, 2023. How do you feel?
It's my least out of the three.
Your least.
It's my least out of the three.
What would you rate it?
It has some really interesting notes. I would give it a 3.5 because I can definitely see the flavor palette's good. Like, it's not like it's bad. It's just like I really wish that it kicked harder. And for the flavor palette that it was giving me, it's just like it's not my thing. You know, I wanted something that was a little bit more sweeter, but also more complex in terms of the interpretation. I know whenever I first talked about it, I was saying that, is this it? I get the three things, right? So I forget what the three things I said though. It was I think it was apple, banana, like brown sugar or something like that. There's a little bit of spice in there, and that was it. So anyway, that's a 3.5. I would give the next one, which
Daily
is
drinker? Daily? Wait, whoa,
no,
whoa, whoa.
not a daily drinker.
Not a daily drinker?
Not a daily. No.
And what would you pay for this whiskey?
I would pay $30 for this.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one immediately after is the Mitana. And I feel like the Mitana is a 5. I feel like it is the bar standard for what I feel like a single malt should bring to the table in terms of just complexity. Honestly, I'm very tempted to rank it even higher. But it's the strength thing. That's the only thing that's holding it back at that point. Like, it has the flavor, it has the dimensionality. It's dimensionality? That's not a word. Anyway, there's dimension to it enough to like make me feel as if it's a good quality experience. So give that a 5. It's daily drinker. I would pay $60 for that. And then
so 5 daily drinker.
5 daily drinker, $60.
$60. Okay.
And then the PJ 2024 is a 5.5 to a 6. Yeah, no need to cover. 5.5, just like by the barest amount, just because like I feel like my Jamaican heritage just absolutely requires it.
The Caribbean came out.
Yeah, like it was just like immediately I smelled it, I was like, oh, this is better. Oh man, it's so good. But yeah, no, I was very happy with the PJ 2024. I would daily drink this. I would pay $80 for this. It would hurt me. I would rather pay $60 for this, but I would pay up to 80.
Up to 80.
Yeah, I would pay up to 80 for this. It was really tasty. I enjoyed it a lot. The only thing that's holding it back, just like all the rest of these things, is punch. If this thing kicked like a Frey Ranch or something like that, I would like Frey Ranch would have some really hard opposition for like in my book. Because
Gotcha.
PJ would be talking some mad squat stuff on my shelf, like, "Hey man, that bottle's looking awfully empty. I've been restocked 5 times."
It's fair. It's fair.
So yeah, that's how I feel.
Anthony, give it to us. Give it to us straight. Which ones? What ratings? What prices?
Here we go.
This one's really hard for me because my tongue is numb.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been playing too much Marvel Rivals, and now he's all sorts of jacked up.
So, the PJ 2023 smelled really good with the apple, and then has pretty impressive mouthfeel for what it is. Not much flavor, and I didn't taste the malt. So, but I still, based on how interesting it was, want to give it like a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 4 and pay $40.
Daily drinker?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
That's not convincing.
Let me
That's
taste it.
not. I don't believe
He's like,
that.
he's
I don't
see,
believe that.
Anthony's the one that is increasingly. The minute we were like, the daily drinker just means like you would drink it every day if that's what you had. The minute we made that change, he was like, "Oh yeah, I drink all of these every day."
Basically, yeah. I don't.
Like, Anthony, you're full of shit. There's no way.
I used to drink Woodfords every day.
I
Base
know that,
Woodfords.
and we love you for that. But at the same time, there has to be a line, okay? There has to be a line for your daily. If it was between this and the Frey Ranch, would you take this for a daily? For a daily?
That's a different question.
Oh, it is the same question.
You're asking if I drink it daily is not the same as would I drink it over Frey Ranch?
Would you drink a Frey Ranch daily?
Of course I would drink a Frey Ranch daily.
So if you had a glass of Frey Ranch and you had a glass of this PJ, would you drink the PJ?
No.
Then it's not a daily drinker.
But if I ran out of Frey Ranch.
Oh my fucking god.
So, 2023, we got 4 yes and 40. 2024.
2024 is my favorite.
Yeah, boy. That's right.
It goes from
back.
being like really sweet and complicated in the flavor while you're swishing it. And you're just like, oh, this is great. I could do this forever. And then you swallow it. And suddenly it's fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
Where were you?
Yeah.
It's spicy. It's a spicy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
It is really cool.
Rating.
I feel like the 2024 is like a 7.
A 7.
There we go.
Okay.
Hey. Nice.
Okay, Anthony.
Daily drinker. Yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And then
I
what
respect
would you
that.
pay for it? What would you pay for it?
69.
I don't respect that.
Nice.
I don't respect that at all.
Nice. We got the nice price.
Nice.
Now, the Matuna,
Yeah.
which I kind of want to call it like Mufasa.
Bro,
Mufasa.
that's
When I look at it.
that's not
Sorry.
that's not
The Mufasa.
that's not above board.
the
As
Mituna.
the respective ethnic person in this chat.
Wait, I'm talking
Chobate.
about Lion King. What are you talking about? I'm talking about Lion King.
You took you took a Mituna, you took a name that started with an M that was obviously from like an ethnic background, and then obfuscated it to something that is of pop culture that you know.
That's not what
which is
happened.
Also,
That's not what happened. What happened was dyslexia, and I can't read. Okay, so you are actually offending me by saying that I'm offending.
oh my god. Anyway, the Mufasa, as you were saying.
The Mufasa.
The Mufasa.
That is the one that I actually taste the most malt in, which is interesting. Yeah, and so that's the others. I didn't really notice maltiness, but Mituna, I've got some malt going on. I think the Mituna is only like a 5 out of 10 for me, though.
I hear that.
I don't know. There's maybe my palate's not refined enough,
I don't think that's
Something-
a refinement issue
or
there,
it's
but
just they picked
think-
wrong.
I think it's a skill diff, honestly.
Skill diff. Yeah, I don't know. This one's not my favorite.
A proof diff. There it is.
Proof diff, yeah.
No.
But I mean, this one did smell really good. But
Mhm.
honestly, like, smell is maybe 10% for me. 90% of it comes after the smell.
Fair.
Oh man.
I think that's fair, except for the swamp whiskey that we had like 20 episodes ago,
Bro.
because that one, the
That
nose
took up
killed us.
70% of everything. Like, I don't care if like
Yeah.
you taste like gold. If your nose smells like petrol, I'm gonna have an issue, dude.
Yeah, that was rough.
Though it is really cool that this is the first one that I've seen do like actual tears.
It
yeah,
was
that
really cool. That is cool. So,
Novelty
daily drinker, I'm
aside.
guessing still yes.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what would you pay for the Mituna?
Hmm. You know, I just went back to it. And it tastes kind of better than it did before.
Oh no!
Yes, let's
Anthony.
go. Press that elevator button. We're going up.
But the aftertaste is kind of harsh.
Oh, then we're back down. Look at that. You pressed
Yeah.
all the buttons. He's that kid in
Ding.
the elevator.
It's kind of like having a conversation with somebody and they're like really impressing you with the meat of the conversation. And then right at the end, they ruin it. And you're like, I never want to talk to them again.
Ooh.
And you forget.
Ooh.
You forget the whole story they told. You're just like, what is wrong with you? Why'd you say that? Why would you say that?
They're like, oh, and by the way, the lunar landing was fake. You're like, dude,
What?
what?
What
There-
happened?
I think there's
We
a
were-
movie about
we
that
were
that's,
gonna
by
ha-
the way, incredible.
We were gonna hang out. Like, what? Why?
I
Why
know.
did you do this?
What was that movie? Did y'all see that movie? Did y'all see
No.
Fly Me to the Moon?
I did
No.
not. I
It
did
is
not.
incredible. It is so good.
Fly me to the moon.
It is. It shows NASA
Oh,
preparing
no.
for the moon landing
Exactly.
using a
Anthony.
television camera.
That's funny.
It's like, you know what? Even just to flip this as he's doing this, perfect comparison. At the very end of the conversation, be like, hey, and don't believe what those round earthers are telling you. We all know the truth, right?
We know the truth.
The
Garbage.
So,
the Earth is actually consisting of multiple like Earth-sized Earths that are surrounded by ice like
Oh yeah.
walls.
Oh yeah.
And it feels flat
Mhm,
because of how
mhm.
big it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It is actually a sphere, but there's
Uh-huh.
like a million other Earths
On the same Earth.
on
On
Yeah.
the same
Earth,
planet. Yeah.
On
Yeah.
top
all
of each other.
surrounded in
Mhm.
ice.
On the
Yeah.
back of a turtle. Exactly.
A
That's
l-
also on the back
Yes.
of three
a
elephants.
lion turtle. for
Yes.
some
A
reason.
lion turtle. Yes.
But
Yes.
eventually it is, yes, a turtle again.
Yes.
Like-
A
Yeah.
turtle
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. It
That's-
started as a
it's
turtle, then it was a
stacked.
lion turtle, but now it's a turtle again.
Yes.
No
and
joke, y'all.
Yeah.
Into eternity.
No joke, y'all. Did y'all know that there are some genetically engineered rats that have mammoth fur?
That's
I'm
crazy.
so not surprised. I'm
Also-
so not surprised.
On the same vein, we actually have 3 dire wolves in existence now.
That's crazy.
I'm so not surprised.
2 of them are like 6 months old, 80 pounds apiece, and
Jeez.
6
Two
months
brothers.
and 80 pounds.
That's
6 months.
crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna get up to like 6 feet long, 150 pounds. And one of them is the girl, and she's like
She's gonna
a
get
month.
huge.
She's like 2 months old.
I wonder
The
what their
crazy thing
paws are
is-
like. I bet they're as big as my face.
Dude, they look
already.
so cool. The crazy thing is the boys, they have like a mane of sorts.
Yeah,
like when
of
you
course
see
they
their
do.
neck,
Yeah.
it's not like a normal wolf. It's like almost lion-esque, but they're still pure white. Like but it's different.
Anthony, I'm gonna
Crazy.
tell you something.
What would you?
Dire
Yeah.
wolves were around during the Ice Age, bro.
They were.
So they evolved for the like as much
Cool.
fur as possible. So I'm
Yeah.
not surprised by the mane. Rating. Get on
Rating.
Price.
point.
Price.
Get
price,
on point.
Price.
Wait, did I give a rating?
Price for the Mitsuna. Yes, you
Stop
gave
diving.
a rating.
What was my
I
rating?
need you to get on point.
5. You gave
Okay,
a
that's
5
what I was
for the
gonna say.
Mitsuna.
So good, I'm
And
consistent.
then you daily drinker, but you didn't give us a price. What is the price? What would you pay for it?
$49.
49.
$49. Not to
So-
be confused with the 69. Heyo.
So
Hey.
I guess I'm going to be the odd man out here. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the Paul John Christmas 2023. So
2023. Okay.
Yeah.
At the bottom. Okay.
first one. This is a 4 out of 10 whiskey. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. I'm with the rest of y'all. You know,
Okay.
this is just a nice, pleasant, drinkable whiskey that I totally don't mind that I purchased. I would purchase it again. You know,
Mhm.
totally good. It wouldn't be my daily drinker, but it could be a daily drinker for many people. There's a lot to love about this whiskey. Price wise, I'd love to see this right around $40, right? And then we move on to 2024. Smelling the empties is so good.
Y'all are sick.
So 2024,
Mm.
man, they went into
run one?
2024. They turned and they said, guys,
Let me cook.
let me cook. And they went and they created something better. 2024 is just significantly better than 2023.
So
they
true.
killed it. And the guy at the distillery even said that to me. He was like,
We were on
2023
something.
was like our second Christmas release, and we just got better.
Yeah.
We just do better now.
We're
And
just- we're
that's what
just
they
him
did.
now.
And
Timothy.
this is an easy 6 for me, I think. So this was just a above average whiskey, and totally would be a daily drinker for me. And I totally pay up to, I think this sits at around the $80, $70 to $80 mark for me pretty easily. I would pay $70, $80 for this. I'm sad it's a Christmas release and not something that you can go out and buy regularly, but like, it's just so good.
Oh wait, spoilers! God damn.
What do you mean?
No spoilers. Why would you do that?
Go buy it again?
I mean, like, you just told me that there's no way that I can.
This one will be harder to find. All 3 of these, unfortunately, are going to be a little bit more difficult to find.
Makes sense.
In America, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're traveling to Europe, you have a shot. But your best chance of getting Paul John is actually to travel to Kerala. You will find all of these in Kerala in bulk.
Got you.
So the last one, the Mitana, this sits right around a 7 for me.
Wow, you guys really liked the
So-
Mitna.
I really like the Mitna. I think it's the best of the 3. But like I said in my tasting, I am biased towards the darker flavor palettes. And the darker flavors of this one outweigh the lighter flavors of the other 2. And that's just a personal preference thing.
Yeah.
I don't think from a technical perspective, it's better or worse than the 2024. It just happens to align with my palate more.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really nice. It's also the highest ABV one, of course.
I mean,
it sits right at 50%, whereas the other ones sit a little bit below 50%.
let me smell the glass. Hold on.
So I really enjoy that one. I would totally daily drink it, and I would really like to see this one under $100.
Yeah.
Is where I would like to see it. Now, this is where we kind of get into the interesting monetary pricing of these whiskeys.
Oh.
If you're traveling to India, these whiskeys are super, super affordable.
Of course.
Super affordable. You go to India, you're going to get this first 2023 edition for like 35, 40 bucks. You're going to get the 2024 for like the same price. They're all the same price. You're going to get this Midna for a little bit more expensive, but it's only like 110.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. But you go somewhere else and this shit gets expensive and hard to find because
Like
they
real
just
fast?
don't export it, right? So if you're finding this outside of India, somebody had to go find a distributor, go to India, set up a deal, ship it in, get a distributor, and then distribute that to wherever you're buying it from. And the price of all of the overhead of that shoots the price up, and you're going to be paying like 75 to 100 bucks for each of the Christmas editions. And then probably I've seen the Mitna go all the way up to like 220.
Damn.
Right? Which is just not what you want to see these at. Now, I would love to say you can get them cheaper, but you really do. Like this is one of those whiskeys where if you're an American or a European, then when you're in duty free and you're coming back from India, pick up some of these bottles because you're going to find them for an affordable, nice price. And they're going to be super cheap and they're just tasty. They're all tasty. Good. The whole Paul John line, they're killing it. Paul John, amazing guy, does a lot of charity, does a lot of stuff, and it's just wonderful. So easily, we did lose Nat. I was just trucking through, essentially. But we did lose Nat. Hopefully he'll be back in a second. But yeah, this is one of those ones when you're traveling abroad to that side of the world. to like pick up a bottle of this. They are really worth it. The company does really cool things, and just a great pickup all around. And all of their whiskeys sit in between this. I will say again, and go back and watch the episode where I talk about India more. There's a bunch of episodes where I'm in India and I do the podcast and I talk a little bit about this. And the first episode when I was back, I think the thumbnail has like, I'm back or something like that. If you go and watch that episode, I think I go through the Paul John distillery tour that I went on. The barrel proof of all of these whiskeys are 9 out of 10. Like the stuff that they have in the barrels that they cannot sell in India because India has a hard legal limit of 50% ABV being sold on shelves. Those whiskeys in the barrel are unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. They're like 8 and 9 out of 10 whiskeys. Hopefully, the Taphaven podcast will be able to like go in, buy a barrel and distribute it. And like, we'll be able to get some of that stuff to the States one day. But that we good. His stream is live.
Yeah, his stream is still live, but he is not.
Weird.
It is weird.
Is he in the control room? He's not even in the control room.
He's not in the control room.
Oh, it looks like he turned off his camera and mic.
He is in the control room. It does look like he turned off his camera and mic.
Maybe he's got to turn that back on.
A little weird.
Turn that stuff back on. I don't think so.
It is weird.
Maybe if he refreshes his page, he'll pop back up like a ghost in the night.
Well, is there anything else about the whiskey?
No, I think that's really it. I wanted to move on to the topic that I'm going to get flamed about by both of you.
Shouldn't we wait for Nat to get back?
I guess we should wait for Nat to get back.
He's disappointing as always.
He's disappointing as always.
So we could talk about his least favorite game. Oh, there he is.
He's back.
Shut up.
He's risen.
I want to broach into a discussion.
Boo.
And I'm going to start this, and it's going to be like a nice sandwich. So I want you to just stay in the meats with me for a second.
Okay, give me 1 second while I go ahead and hate on my uncle real fast. Back with you, bastard. Continue.
So, guys, I am caught up on Severance.
Oh my god. That was quick.
So,
congrats. How do you feel?
Season 1. Let me just start from the beginning.
Okay.
Season 1, 9.5 out of 10 show. Oh my god. Season 1 of Severance is unbelievable. Season 2, and I'll talk about it because last week we talked a little bit about Season 1.
Tread carefully.
Season 2 starts off with one of the best opening season episodes of a season ever. It is Season 2, Episode 1 might be one of my favorite episodes of TV in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the season finale of Season 2, again, amazing season finale episode.
Dude, best fight scene with a girl ever.
Yeah.
They stuck the fucking landing, man. God dang it! Just bleep me in the editing. I'm so sorry.
Every other episode of Season 2 was maybe a 2 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. They were abysmal. They were abysmal.
Why?
No. My God.
Eric,
So,
shut up.
What are you talking about?
Season 2 left me with some of the most glaring problems of TV that I felt in a long time.
Why?
Okay. No. Let's hear what he has to say, I guess.
So let me there are a bunch of issues, and I'll probably think of a lot of them as I'm talking and kind of like go ramble for a second.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and also do one more thing. Anthony, this is Anthony, who's on the stream. Anthony, who's actually part of the show. Anthony, not my uncle.
God, I'm so confused. That made it worse.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I'll call you Anthony, and then I'll do Uncle Tony for Japan,
Right.
Anthony. We listen and we don't judge.
So let me the most glaring issue I'll bring up first of the style of writing that I think failed in season 2 that they just killed in season 1 really is epitomized in the reintegration of Mark S storyline. So we spend about 3 full episodes of time in season 2 about the reintegration for it to essentially do nothing to the plot, mean nothing for the plot, and give us no story beats that move the plot forward and essentially get wiped out. Now, they may go in season 3 and fix that by bringing those things back in. And I hope they do, because it will retroactively mean that those episodes were worthwhile, but they did not mean anything in the scope of season 2. Now,
I think what they meant was what he asked the question, what happens to him? Is he more of the original than...
They kind of explained that with Petey, though.
but that discussion that they have gets blown off. They don't go into depth about the reintegration. It doesn't become a talking point of that discussion. It doesn't drive Mark versus Audi Mark, their relationship forward, because
Does it not drive the ending?
It definitely drives the ending.
I don't think it does. Because
Then why do you think he didn't leave?
So here, hold up. I think the integration part, you're right. It's introduced and then they don't do anything with it after they explain what happens with Mark's wife.
So,
And that I think it was a vehicle to get to those memories, because otherwise we weren't getting that flashback. Audi Mark was never going to talk about those things because of his trauma with the entire experience. I think that was the reason for the reintegration.
the thing that drives me insane about that, though, and that doesn't make sense, is that Cabal talked to them. She knows everything. She knows Cobal. Sorry, not Cabal.
Cabal.
I was like, Cabal.
Cobal knows everything, and she switched sides at the end and gave them any information they needed. There was nothing from a storytelling perspective stopping her. Mufasa. Yes, that was my dyslexic moment, but it was talking dyslexia instead of reading dyslexia. So, but like, because she switched sides, she could literally give them whatever information that they needed about that. The reintegration wasn't needed for that story development.
But
The reintegration showed how far he would go to get his wife back.
the reintegration shows how far he goes. Also, they talk about reintegration in the final episode, and Cobell says what? She knows everything about the science of being an innie and outie.
Made it.
And
She designed it. She's the designer.
And she's aware of what's going on, but she is not aware of some of the things that are happening with Mark's innie and outie now.
So, and those are valid points. I'm not saying that they can't like solve these in season 3. They're just weird because of how much time we spent on them versus how much they actually impacted. And that wouldn't be a big issue in and of itself, but that happened with every character this season.
It's true.
It happened with Helly.
Introduced that you're just
It
like,
happened
where's this going?
with Irving.
Yeah.
Right? Irving's
On a
character
train
line.
somewhere.
Like, here's the thing. If they don't bring Irving back, they have ruined his character. Right? I'm not saying that season 2 Irving was bad, but it was so unresolved that they have to bring Irving back. But if the actor doesn't come back, if he doesn't come back in season 3 and his storyline ends there, then it will always tarnish season 2.
Yeah.
And so that's my biggest problem. It isn't. So one of my teachers, when I went to school, said, and I went to music
1 + 1
school.
= 2. Oh,
No.
That school.
So
got it.
he used to talk about jazz theory a lot. In
Mhm.
jazz, it sounds very different than like other styles of music because one of the core concepts is like there are no wrong notes in jazz, but there can be wrong resolutions. Season 2 was not bad, but it set up so many things that can have really bad resolutions, and they did not resolve them in season 2, which inherently made season 2 a weaker season than season 1 because season 1 brought up the loops, solved the loops, and only set you up with interesting points for season 2 in ways that were like drove you to want to see season 2. Season 2 sets up things, resolves them in like ways, but leaves you hanging on parts of them. Season 1 didn't do that.
Can I say something?
Go
Okay.
for it.
So, to speak to that, I think that we are also heavily sorry, not heavily. We are mistakenly skipping over an aspect of television that I think a lot of people don't consider, in the sense that not a lot of shows do actually make it past the season 1 like this.
Fair.
Because the premise is so off kilter, there's a possibility, and I'm not saying it's an excuse. There's a possibility that season 1 was written the way that it was because they didn't know if they were going to get a season 2 based on this premise.
100%. And here's the thing I will fully concede. It is entirely possible that they come out with season 3, 4, 5 because they have a set. Ben Stiller went on a podcast or a thing. He already knows how many seasons he wants to do for the full story.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I concede fully that future resolutions could make season 2 amazing.
Yeah.
But they did not make season 2 alone. That like the decisions that they made in season 2 do not make season 2 alone amazing. They rely on the resolution. I am worried. My biggest worry is that they fall into the problems that Lost had.
There's a lot of commonalities.
What?
Between
How
the
did you
two,
do that,
for
Eric?
sure.
We've been rewatching
For
Lost.
sure.
So
I mean, dude, I
didn't
understand
tell
why.
you about that.
I understand why.
So-
you need a hit.
yeah.
Well, no, Ash has never seen it.
Oh,
Oh,
she
yeah,
has
I'll
to
do
see
it
it. It does the same thing. Lost in
No
and of
spoilers,
itself,
bro.
But
I'm
to
not
be
gonna spoil
fair-
anything.
To be fair,
but
Eric, I don't think the people who wrote Lost knew what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, they
I'm
did.
not.
Yeah,
no,
they did.
No, they
No
didn't.
spoilers, Nat.
No, they
no
didn't.
spoilers,
So-
Nat.
So no spoilers.
No spoilers. They
How
had
I
no
am
idea
just
what
saying-
they were
Listen. Listen. How you feel about it after the show's over is a spoiler. Because she knows y'all very well.
Fair.
Okay,
I'm not even gonna give feelings.
Just saying, that's all I'm getting at.
I'm gonna
fair,
do a
getting at her.
true
Fair,
no
fair,
spoiler
fair,
of
fair.
this. I am just saying that Lost had similar things
Yes,
and similar,
they're similar.
like type of writings.
Yeah.
And I want Severance to take
Just do
from
better.
that and
Just
do
do better.
even better.
Yeah.
And I am
Brink it.
based on season 2, they could go either direction. And
Yes.
that is my only concern.
I already know it's kind of wild and nothing gets answered. What do you mean nothing gets answered?
Things get
Outta here.
answered. Okay, so so I want you to keep on talking about like what really kind of like upset you about the season, because for me, this cemented Severance as my favorite show of all time.
I feel exactly the opposite. I feel like I literally told B I'm really worried, and season 2 made me less interested in season 3 in its entirety. And I almost want to leave it at season 1 because of how perfect season 1 was. Season 1 was perfect
because
TV.
It's complete. Okay, continue. Sorry.
So let me talk about the resort episode where they go on their field trip,
Oh, the Ortbo.
right?
With the biggest waterfall in the world.
Yeah.
So that episode
Or-
alone is going to leave unanswered questions all over the place. I guarantee you they aren't going to answer all of the questions that episode has, and
What
that
questions?
episode's how did they do the clone shadow,
The shadow
guys that are pointing at
Animatronics.
everybody?
It's animatronics.
How did they?
What? No,
it
stop.
was.
That one's simple. It's animatronics. It's literally just a robot.
They're never going to say that. Is
It's
what I'm getting
obvious
at.
when you look at it. You see one at the last episode
Uh,
when he's doing the thing and he's having the like skit in the comedy routine. You've been to Disney.
It's
It
not
isn't the same.
explained.
It
It's not
isn't the same.
explained.
It's
They
not.
look like
it's,
animatronics and paper mache, and they can only move their arms one way.
It's not the same. All I'm saying is, what does that episode actually do
I see what
for
you're
the
doing.
story?
Hold on, Anthony, I got you.
Every single story, every single episode gives you a nugget of useful information.
Wait a
but
second. That
drives-
episode,
That episode is the big reveal
reveals-
for Helly.
Helly, and
Yeah.
also
Anthony,
betrays Mark's love.
I'm sensing some bullshit.
Did you watch it, Eric?
That
Did you
is
fall
the
asleep?
so that was going to my big point.
Okay.
Every single episode
Yeah.
only really gives you. So let me break this off in another way. I think it'll make more sense to what I'm trying to dictate here.
Okay.
There are two things that the writers are trying to do in Severance. They're trying to give you a
Both words.
mystery about Lumor and
Lumen.
what the Lumen and
got you,
what the
bud.
company is doing and what's going on
He
and
almost
everything
got,
that's
he-
happening.
He got the R. He didn't get all the way
I
down.
know. I didn't finish writing. So they have one part of the story where they are trying to give you this mystery, right? On the other hand, it is a character drama about these well-written characters.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 was a perfect mix of discovering the mystery of Lumen while developing the characters. Season 2 literally mostly focuses on the characters. Every single episode is essentially building up characters.
Yeah.
And each episode has one little tidbit of the mystery part thrown in to keep those people engaged. And it feels really unfortunate to me, who is far more invested in the mystery part, that season 1 perfected. And season 2 gave me almost none of that.
Uh-huh.
Shoot.
Something I learned recently. He's actually
Okay.
in the chat. It's really annoying that he's here for me to go ahead and try and talk about this, actually. So, one thing that I realized in terms of the hierarchy of writing, character is always going to be the most attractive thing that you're going to be able to put in front of an audience.
100%.
You have a wonderful world. It's the
100%.
characters that live into it that bring it life.
That
So-
saddens me.
That
For
it
this
is
story. For this
story.
story in particular.
But I really want you to take into account the fact that these people already gave you season 1. They, like, everything has been intentional from the get-go,
Again,
right?
like
And
I
I'm-
said,
and I'm upset. I'm not trying to change your mind on season 2 because I
Yes.
understand, like, your opinion is your opinion. I'm not trying to change it.
and
I'm
I
just
concede.
saying, let them cook.
Yes,
because
I
they-
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I am rating, in my opinion, right now, based on season 2, with what I have. This is season 1 and season 2. That's all I got. That's all I got to compare. In
Yeah.
season 2, my opinion of it is really in a fishbowl
Yeah.
of just season 2.
Yeah.
When
I
you
feel-
look at it in its completed form, years from now, it could be that season 2's character development was 100% necessary for where they were going, and the resolution is perfect.
Yeah.
It's just that right now, all I have to go on is season 1 and season 2, and it's like you get it's like you get this perfect steak dinner in New York, and then somebody says, dude, you love steaks? I'm actually going to the #1 rated steak restaurant in America. And they take you there, and you're like, this steak wasn't as good as the one I had in New York.
Uh-huh.
And because we went back to back, your experience is colored that way, and it's unfortunate. It isn't that the steak there was bad, because here's the thing. Severance season 2 is still like a 6 out of 10 TV show for me. But when compared to Severance season 1, that's a 10 out of 10 like season, it's really hard. It's different.
Okay. I'm going to say something. Anthony, I haven't heard much from you. I'm going to give you the floor because I want to hear your opinions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm doing a lot of fighting here. And I don't want to be the only person who's like throwing oranges at the
You got
stage.
this. I got stuff to say.
Okay.
Stuff.
The South got something to say. Say it.
So first off, Eric, most other Apple TV shows, don't watch them.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, but
C was good. C was good. Season 1 of
Apple
C.
TV gave us Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is one of my favorite shows of all time.
And Shrinking
I
is
said
good
most.
too. Shrinking is good too.
Shrinking. What is C?
C was the Jason
Oh, C.
C, like
C
SEE.
starts off really strong as
Starts
well,
off really
but
good.
there's a lull for
Season
sure.
2 is really bad.
Like they went from having some of the best choreography ever to the worst.
Dude, the fighting choreography whenever like Baba Voss goes up again, like Baba Voss, you mean? And so good.
I did want to just say one more thing before you kind of go off.
There it is. Yeah.
In season 2 of Severance, there are scenes that are spectacular still in Severance.
Oh, for sure.
So it's not that that parts of it. Like I said, episode 1, masterpiece episode of TV.
But you called the season a 2 out of 10.
No.
That's where
that was,
I feel like
okay,
that's where we're coming from.
Sorry,
for it.
sorry. I was being a little hyperbolist there.
He did say 6 out of 10.
No, he did not.
Yes,
he
I
did
did.
not. He
So
said like
He
2
did.
or 3.
you misheard me. Okay. I said that the episodes between the intro and the finale were 2 out of 10.
Okay.
The intro and the finale were both 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's the in-betweens that really were rough for me,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Those are the flawed episodes in my
Now
opinion.
that is what
As a
most
whole,
Apple
it was like a
TV
6 out of 10.
That's how
Those
much.
episodes are what most Apple TV shows are like.
Yeah.
Immense amounts of character development, 1% story, overarching, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Especially like the alien one and the space one. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. It's weird. I don't know why they do it.
Yeah.
I think my only sad part is that, like, man, season 1 was just so perfect.
Dude, you're gonna like. I know that you're saying it like that. I want to get to the happy part of this because season 2, yes, there are episodes where you're just like, why are we going through this? Like I can just point to like specific episodes where like both me and Mel were like, fuck, why did we do anything this episode? And
Yeah,
then
it felt like a
left us with
filler
this
episode,
And
right?
they gave us
Yes.
like a cliffhanger at the very end to just be like, no, we know what
Well,
we're doing.
one interesting
You're
one
gonna
was
come
like
back next week.
Cobell's backstory, and we're like, why are we doing
So
this? Like, this
good.
is so boring. This is so annoying.
No, I
But
thought it was so good.
it was good.
I-
But you're
yeah.
just like, but why? Do we need this? But why?
Because
And
we
But
needed to
it ended
set
up
that
answering.
character. Yeah.
It ended up answering the question of who is the
Who's
girl?
the architect?
No,
Yeah.
the girl, the young girl. I had
and,
theories that she was like not young, that she was like an old person in a young person's body. No, she was literally just child labor
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's child labor. Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Well,
she's-
and then you had cool little subplots like Irving. One big problem I had, again, my main problem was they did a bunch of character development that didn't do anything for the story,
Mhm.
followed
who?
by like little excerpts. Irving's story, for
Like who's he
example.
reporting to?
Well, yeah. So like they tease all of that stuff. They
dude.
tease all of that, but like, it doesn't go anywhere. And then he goes on a train. It feels very weird. It feels very unanswered.
You
and
know who's
maybe
gonna
we'll
be at
get
the
a
end of that
resolution.
train, though, right? Who
Maybe
he's reporting to?
Look. If they again, the resolution is what's important.
You're right.
And they
I'm
left
sorry.
it
I'm sorry.
unresolved
Yeah,
in
yeah,
season 2.
yeah.
That is my problem.
Yeah.
We got none of it. But they had tidbits across that character storyline, like the whole Bert and that. So one big problem I had, I really didn't have any connection or feel like the investment between Audi Bert and Audi Irving was genuine or cared at all. It was a model that they followed to give you the information about how severing was used before severing existed for assassination.
Yeah.
And that was
Well,
it.
we don't know if they were actually
Wait,
assassinated.
assassination? What do you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bert,
Wait, rewind.
he literally talks about that.
Bert would take people out for rides that he
Yes.
would not have to drive them back from.
No, that he wouldn't remember because he was severed and he assassinated them.
I didn't pick that up.
I didn't pick that up.
That is what they were trying to say. So the whole severing thing existed before 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And these people were disappearing, and he talks about how he doesn't remember going home. That in their last scene together, what I got from that was that he brought them somewhere and he didn't ask any questions and he didn't remember what happened there and then going back. It is heavily implied
Now,
that those people are killed.
I disagree that the relationship between Bert and Irving was useless because they showed us.
Not saying it's useless.
No, I'm sorry.
That's not
No,
what I'm saying.
no, they specifically showed us that there are things that
carry
transcend the
Any
sever.
Yeah.
Very subtle things that occur on both sides, which is like proving that it's not
And we
severed
see it
fully.
And we see it between Helena and Audi Mark as well.
And we
whenever
see it
they're at
between the
restaurant.
wife and Anymar,
Agreed.
where she trusts him, and that's why the guy rages, because she shouldn't trust him. She knows nothing about him. She should trust this voice.
Yeah.
Agreed. I just felt I didn't feel that was enough for the relationship that budded within 2 talking sessions between Bert and Irving. It just didn't feel organic enough for me. I felt very forced there.
Maybe it's 'cause you're
comparatively to the other ones. Maybe I don't. I'm not saying why, because I don't know. I just know from a feeling perspective, one felt different than
I
the other ones.
I feel like we can all agree on something though. In season 2, one of the most epic moments was Dylan's Audi's letter to Any Dylan.
Oh yeah,
100%.
So good.
Yeah, that's one of my top moments from the season.
First
for sure.
off, you.
I know,
That was good. That was good. Like I said,
Oh my
there were
gosh.
definitely 10 out of 10 moments in season 2. It was just season 2's really long, and the moments that I remember as 10 out of 10 moments are less
stretched.
than 5% of season 2.
Yeah.
And about 80% of it, I'm like, unless you resolve this in a better way than I can think of in future seasons, you're going to totally mess this up and it's going to feel bad. And like you are making this harder than you need to, because I feel like there were really good inner season resolutions that they could have made that they just they focused on other things for season 2, and those things didn't feel important in season 2. So unless they make them important in future seasons, it's going to feel bad.
Ultimately, I feel like both season 1 and season 2 are epitomes of how not to treat your audience, because season 1 and season 2 cannot exist in a vacuum. They can't exist by themselves. The Matrix is a great example of a potential one and done. At the end of the Matrix, you're like, you can wonder, you can imagine, but you don't need more.
You don't need another. You don't need a second one.
And at the end of season 1 and season 2 of Severance, you need the next one, and that's not cool.
They end with she's alive, of course.
Yeah, I feel
not
like
cool,
that's
man.
only because of the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But
It's
I mean,
you closed like no loops.
Yes,
dude. You didn't give any answers. There was no end to the story. The story just started. It's like you were the prologue.
Okay. Let me go with this though.
Okay.
You closed every character loop from the first season. You did not close the story loop that I'm talking about of the mystery. The mystery is what drove us into season 2. But guess what? Irving, Dylan, Helly, and Mark all transcended their characters and solved their character issues from season 1 inside of season 1.
Not Helly.
Helly did.
Helly solved her arc at the very end of season 2 when she said, "I'm her."
Yeah.
She's had this entire thing where she's been fighting against her identity as Helena, but at the very end, when Mark's like, "I want to be here with you," she says, "You can't, because I'm her," and she realizes it's the realization of who she actually is. Go ahead.
But that character arc is only created by the Audi faking to be her inside of season 2. So that character story is in season 2 for me.
I don't agree with that.
In season 1, her character and her character development of going from somebody who hates being an innie to wanting to fight and make the speech for the innies at the end of season 1, that was what her character was. Because at the beginning of season 1, she did not care. She did not care about the people she was working with. She did not care, but she just wanted to not exist. Mm-hmm. But at the end of season 1, she cared about her existence. But not only did she care about her existence, she cared about the other innies' existence. And she chose over everything she learned to go and make that speech. And that was her character arc for season 1. That was literally where they ended her character arc.
I'm not sure you get what I'm saying. Like, you take the Harry Potter books. Every single book could have been the end. And you didn't necessarily need
the next
it
book
to keep going. That, in my mind, is
maybe
a good
the
writer.
Goblet of Fire.
So I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the things that they were able to resolve nicely within season 1 to make a season
at the end
that
of season
drove
1,
you to season 2. But
at the end of
also,
season 1, they brought up a ton of things. They literally brought up like 5 or more brand new situations and things for you to wonder about, with zero potential answer or guidance for your wondering.
But they resolved 5 to 10 other things in really satisfying ways within season 1 as well.
I don't feel so. Like, I understand what you're saying.
We're missing sketch flicks because you're not in the thing anymore.
Yeah. Something to consider is that sometimes they close character arcs in a series and they have no use for the character after that, so they make a lot of filler. So it's possible that they had no more content for some of these characters. I agree.
Yeah,
and they also said it's a genius social. Apple is all in for season 3. They had so much success on the first one that they knew that they were getting a season 3, so they chose not to close the loop, in my opinion. But it's risky.
Again,
season 2.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I drive home the fact. Season 2 played it more risky. They are so heavily focused on the resolution. But in doing so, in my opinion, they made a weaker season 2 in the hopes that they make a better season 2 through 6 or whatever they go to.
I agree that season 2 is weaker than season 1.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's literally my
I think that's a fair statement. One trick in writing is when you answer one loop, you create 2 extra loops to keep the story it's going. Just meta writing here. Yeah, it's called the Story Circle. And if you want to learn more about it, go ahead and subscribe to Sketchflix, where he can go ahead and tell you how to go ahead and write stories with effective loops and resolutions to make your stories more effective.
Like, how do you end a book or a season or a movie in a satisfying way that doesn't make your audience angry with how much you've left unanswered?
So I will say one thing that I love, and I'm super biased towards a few different writers, but I feel like people that do this well are Brandon Sanderson with the different worlds and having a story that pushes a Cosmere story overarching. Yeah. But also each individual story has a closed loop in which they answer all of the questions within that loop. But the things that happen drive other stories without you needing to know about or resolve them inside of that book. He does a really good job. Yeah. I feel like season 1 of Severance also did that. Yeah. Another one is like Dresden Files. Dresden Files.
12 months soon.
I know. Dresden Files does a really good job where there is this overarching story, but every single book is episodic.
Yeah. It's a one and done. Yeah.
Yes.
Except for the latest few.
Yeah, but even those still center Yeah, but even those still center around a central idea that is fully closed loop within that story.
Yeah.
They just are starting to put more and more
Yeah.
connective tissue pieces.
Up until changes, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony,
But
have you read Dresden Files?
No,
You would
also,
love it.
yeah, it's
I
fun.
think
It's fun.
think you would really like it.
Yeah, I think so
I have to
too.
get through Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
We'll see you in 10 years.
Yeah, right. I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
so
been
sorry.
hard to fall
I'm
asleep
sorry
at it,
that-
honestly, because
yeah.
I'm listening to Brandon Sanderson, and
Dude,
so I'll
it's
be
so
like,
good.
I'll
It's
put
so
it
good.
on, and I'll be like, this is not a dull chapter.
No.
So then I'll
no.
reach up over my head,
No
I'll
chapter.
grab some, what is it, melanin or whatever, the sleep
Melatonin.
aid,
Yeah.
melatonin. I'll eat that. I'll pass out, wake up, still hear it go, and be like, oh shit,
Bro,
that's
you
really
gotta
good.
you gotta
Turn
turn
it-
on the sleep timer.
I
can't-
do,
you
but
can't-
sometimes
you can't sleep with that on.
sometimes
Oh
I
my
wake
gosh.
up
You get
before the
s-
sleep timer's gone.
Are you?
Anthony,
You're still in
then you
Way of
just-
Kings,
you
right?
just
Like
keep going.
what part
Yeah.
are you on?
I'm on
Give
a way
us
of
your latest
Kings.
things.
Basically, if I remember right, because my memory's all over the place with falling asleep while listening to it. Supposedly I'm burned into her, but I definitely didn't hear that. Invisiger. I don't even remember what that is.
And
I know that I
Investiture.
just. What? No, there's no T. Invisiger. Chapter
this is
38.
this is a character from.
I don't know. What I remember is Kaladin in the past going to the Light Eyes and being like, you know what, Dad? I don't want to frickin' go to the army anymore. And Dad being like, what? You wanted to go to the army? Like, yeah, I did, but now I want to be a surgeon, you know? That's like basically the end of my memory. I feel like I
Gotcha.
heard some stuff happen after that. I can't believe she stole the Soulcaster.
Oh,
can't
wait,
believe
wait,
it.
wait, wait.
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
okay, okay.
I
Whoa,
can't
whoa,
believe she
whoa,
did that.
whoa. Wait, oh, man.
I'm so
Wait,
upset
what
about
is
that.
it? Is that the last thing she did? Is that the last thing she did?
That's the last thing I remember her doing, and it's been
Oh,
Kaladin
it's
ever
about to
since.
go.
I
Wow.
cannot wait
It's
until the
about
next
to go.
Shalon
Oh,
chapter.
actually,
Like, I feel like she knows.
we have to
Literally,
stop. We have to stop.
literally,
We have to
she
stop. We have to
goes,
stop. We gotta-
have they asked you to steal it from me yet?
No
She's like,
spoilers.
no. And then she's like, I'm still going to steal it. Are you dumb? She's obviously testing you. Anyways, I don't know, man.
God, I can't wait.
Anyway,
Dude,
okay, so
it's gonna be
moving
an okay
on.
chapter. It's gonna be an okay chapter.
Moving
Yeah,
on, I do
okay,
want to
yeah.
propose an answer to the reintegration question.
Oh,
That,
Okay.
unfortunately, Eric, I'm sorry, this might not apply to you. You might just be like, I
Okay.
don't know. My answer is, I think it equates to waking up from a dream, and not just any dream, because I have differing dream types. One type of dream I have specifically feels like a different reality that I live in as almost the same person, but certain things are slightly different.
for reintegration, right? Okay, okay.
And I have those memories, and I still have those memories when I wake up.
Yeah.
And I could even remember them right now. They didn't get erased as much as a dream where it was very much just a dream. Does that make sense? Where it was just fantasy.
Yeah, when it fades. Yeah.
Like and it feels like a very big difference between a reality dream and a fantasy dream. It's almost like a different universe reality situation. I feel like that's what reintegration would be like.
Okay. What's your second thing?
But there wasn't a second.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. Never
second
mind.
thing.
Okay, I thought you actually had like a theory as to, like what's gonna happen.
The
next.
second
That's-
thing is
Story.
that's
My
what it feels
theory
like.
is that it feels the same as waking up from a dream that feels very real,
Interesting.
and you have both memories.
Mm.
I don't know.
I can dig it.
I don't.
can
I
dig
get
it.
like, to me, it's like almost every day that you wake up, you're a new version of you.
Yeah.
And so when you reintegrate, you're a new version of you. You're not either old versions, because now you have memories from multiple realities, and they combine, and you decide what to do with them, but you just keep going. And you're
God,
both
man.
people in a way.
My podcast screen is so jank. I need to fix that.
What-
It's
what
so
the-
jank. It is.
It's
Anthony's
truly
like
the
cut off a
jankiest.
little bit.
Yeah, I just looked at it for
Oh,
like
yeah.
longer than 5 seconds, and I was like, oh.
Apparently,
I should really fix that.
I thought I was frozen for you guys, but I
No,
just
dude,
stuck a
you're
pose
not-
for a very long time.
No, you
No.
just stayed very still.
No.
I know we're like coming up on time, but like, I do want to go ahead and get into good ideas, like how whatever I played, because I actually have to recruit you guys. I have to get gold in Marvel Rivals before the end of the week.
We have 2 days, like 3 days.
We have 2
What?
days? No.
We have like 3 days now.
What are you
Dude.
talking about?
I'm
Are
silver
you
3.
wait? Are you
You're
willing?
silver 3? Am
Wait,
I the
are-
bad one?
Are y'all willing to like take off work? Cause I hit my diamond, so I'm in.
I want free characters.
What? So you can't get down below diamond?
No, you definitely can still get demoted,
For
but
sure,
I'll get
for
all the
sure.
benefits of hitting diamond. And I don't think I'm gonna hit
create
grandmaster
your
by
alt?
end of season. I did
I'm gonna
create
have to-
my alt.
I'll have to probably.
I just that one day I streamed last week. I wanted to hit diamond.
Maybe I
to
could
get
take
diamond.
Wednesday or something. I can give you update secret because you can fail the audition, but the 2 new characters are Phoenix, Jean Grey, and Emma Frost. The Phoenix and Jean Grey?
Oh,
You didn't
man.
hear from me. Phoenix and Jean Grey, they're going to be 2 separate characters, which
Yeah.
is kind of dope because they are technically 2 separate characters. But what?
Dude,
So,
Emma Frost is
so-
breaking the internet right now.
Oh yeah, dude,
is what
Gaijin
she's
was
doing.
Insane.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. She has broken the
Sir.
internet.
Sir.
Dude, she has broken the internet.
Oh,
They were
really?
like,
I didn't know.
They
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're doing. They know they know how to
exactly
make
what they're
money.
doing.
They were like, "Oh, Emma Frost."
Well, I mean,
We got this.
To be fair, let's just be real about Emma Frost's character for the entirety of the X-Men timeline. She has always been a thirst trap. She is
100%.
all like it doesn't like
Look, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying I know why they chose in the second season when the player base has started to rise because of popularity and Twitch.
She's
That is
always
when they
been-
decided to release.
she's always been
her.
mommy. She's always been mommy. It's okay.
100%.
It's okay. And then Jean
But-
Grey is like a consolation prize. Honestly, I feel. I mean,
Yeah, Jean Grey.
Phoenix
and then,
is
yeah,
a bad
of course
person,
we
bad
have
thing.
like we have Emma Frost in 2, we have Ultron in 2.5, and then once they get the 3, by the way, they're going to be releasing a new character every month, is what they
that's
said.
insane.
A new character every month?
Yeah,
I mean, they have the roster.
they
Marvel's
already.
insane.
So from what I've heard, and maybe Sketchflix has like the insider knowledge of this, but from what I've heard, they have a stack of characters that have been kind of mined out of the code that they've already kind of like had in works for a long time. So they're at a state where they've just lined them up so that they're not like rushing to create them.
Oh,
They're just
that's nobody.
they're just like, oh, we have them already lined up.
Yeah.
So now it's just about when do we release them?
I mean, you
We have-
can also kind of base it around like who has a movie and who doesn't.
I don't know because
Squirrel Girl?
Emma
Squirrel
Frost,
Girl is wild, and so is Emma Frost. Well, no, Emma Frost
Yeah.
was in a movie.
she
Squirrel
was
Girl, I
in a
think, might be
movie,
Ash's
but
favorite
like,
character, but she doesn't say get a load of these nuts.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, the voice actor
Voice
audition?
actors. Yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So I looked at some of the code dives where they essentially just went through the compiled code, and they have like 7 or 8 different placeholder characters like that are essentially fully fleshed out and done.
Wow.
So
Netties
it's
is
just a
insane,
matter of
dude.
like it's just a matter of the UI for them, like
Yeah.
making them look nice, making them
And,
do all
and
that.
the meta. And the meta.
Yeah.
'Cause, like they can't just drop
Yeah.
like 6 characters and be
Exactly.
like, yeah, go
and
nuts.
they shouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
They are doing such a good job at keeping interest high, changing things up, making things feel fresh.
Yeah, Overwatch.
And doing stuff. Like the real thing is, and so far, their character design has been good, and they
it's getting a
haven't
little
done
goonery.
anything. Well, here's the thing.
Let's be real.
But so yes,
We're getting a little goony.
but that's just a given due to like free game. You know,
I mean,
you have to
according
look.
to this info, though, the next
Yes.
2 characters out of the ones that we know are both Jean Grey and Phoenix. So
Well,
you know she's
Ultron.
been-
Ultron is there.
Ultron's coming, yes, but I mean, like, there's also Phoenix and Jean Grey already on like the
Yeah, but
planet
they're
for
coming
out.
Yeah, but they're not coming out until after Ultron because they
Yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
released the
Makes sense.
thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but what I'm getting at is you have to look at the abilities. Emma Frost's abilities look cool as all get out. They look fun. They look interesting. They look different. And there's nothing about them it is game breaking. And this was something that I was talking to somebody about.
Grab though.
The command grab. Are you talking about her ult?
No, the command grab.
Oh, that just looks dope.
That's
It does.
dope.
It does no damage. It's just fun. It's just.
Well,
fun.
I mean, like okay. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Anyway, all I'm getting at is that one thing, and we talked about it last week about Apex Legends, right? In that they started putting things into the game to simplify it and cheat essentially inside of the game that really started to broach into these huge problems with how they felt about the game going forward. But when I listen to the engineers talking about, like, they do a monthly devlog for Marvel Rivals, and if you listen to these guys, they're like, we just want it to be fun and have heroes, and we want you to feel like you're heroes, and they just want to make it competitive, fun, and like good.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, if that's what you want in a game, and you're still creating heroes that don't broach into just absolutely busted mechanics that can't be tweaked, dude, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill it. It's not even gonna be close. It's just gonna be fun. Like, it's not gonna be some groundbreaking, crazy thing, but as long as it's fun, they're gonna have people playing it, and they're gonna keep doing different stuff. And I love that.
Dude, I think someone at Apex was just like, look, we can't prevent wall hacks. We're never going to
let's
fix
go ahead and
this
put
cheat.
wall hacks into this game.
If we give it to them for free,
They'll stop
then
doing it.
yeah,
They'll stop doing it, right?
Or even if they're still doing it, it evens it out.
I hate it. It drives
The
me
logic
insane.
is there, but it doesn't. It's not right.
The other thing,
not
Anthony, is that the Marvel Rivals dev team already said they are working and want to release, as part of the specialty events, entirely new different game modes that have nothing to do with any game modes currently on the market.
Wait,
they want to release them as special events.
What? A special event, not as a permanent game mode?
So they talk about that. The special events that do well, there are two things. One, they're always going to be available as, like, the ones that do well are going to be available as modes, and they'll always be available
like
as custom rooms. So if they do well, then and people like them, then they will go on to be something that you can do as quick play, essentially.
Or what about competitive?
Don't know yet. That is not their primary concern yet, but we don't know.
They're totally going to do a Dark Phoenix thing. I could feel it.
I am just excited because one of the things that they talked about was having more people in lobbies / free-for-all events / larger maps.
Lobbies?
So
it's already 6. What are you talking about?
As part of special events, to test them out and see which ones stick and they have fun with.
Can you imagine the coordination on that?
Yeah,
it has to be stupid.
But yeah, it's just I'm really only excited because, like, every time I hear the devs speak, they're just super passionate about doing the things, which is really, really cool.
Man, I didn't fall out of nothing.
He did. You have the invite, but
oh, there it goes.
What?
I don't know what happened. Just you kicked you at some point, or you left it.
I didn't leave it.
Maybe you hung up on it or something.
I didn't do diddly.
That's why earlier I was like, "Oh shoot, we haven't been seeing Tony's messages," and then I keep looking way up here to see your stream that I got.
My bad.
Well,
damn.
My guys, we are quickly running out.
We've been out of time, my guy. Don't even lie. We've been out of time. We've just been talking.
I just want to mention that if we have Tony playing, we have Jason playing, and we have Ash playing, we have a 6.
We have a 6.
Yeah, I'm in. Dude,
I can't play with Jason because he's too good at the games. No, I'm joking. I'd play with Jason even if I was bad.
We can do it. Let's go.
With that, I'll see if I can get the Wednesday off. Honestly, it'll be like the last day before isn't it? Because after today, it's 2 days left, right?
It's 3
Yeah.
days and 6 hours. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. I'm
Oh,
gonna have to-
not
I'll-
Friday.
I think it starts the new season on Friday, which makes sense because people binging Friday night.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Oh man,
fair.
the best time
Thanks, man.
would have been right now, honestly.
Ash is like, yo, I'm level 2.
Y'all have level 2.
Bruh.
Get level 10, Ash.
Ash,
Get level
guys,
10,
get
Ash.
this. My wife was ace in like one of her first 3
Dude,
games.
I've
Heck
she
never
was
not gotten
ace.
an
Let's
ace.
go.
What the fuck,
I was
dude?
like, she's like, and also like at the end of it, people were like, oh my God, how'd you do that? They were like,
That's crazy.
What was
That's
she playing?
dope.
Bucky?
she played,
Bucky's dope.
of course,
She's so
Jeff.
disgusting.
Jeff. She played
You
Jeff.
played Jeff?
She played some Squirrel Girl.
Dude,
she also,
Squirrel Girl wrecks quick
Yeah.
play.
yeah, there were a few others that she played. I can't remember who they were. She played a Vanguard. Might have been,
Vanguard.
might have been Thor.
Thor's
Can't
really good.
remember.
Thor is
I don't
really
remember
good.
who you played, Ash, but
I'm at the point
They
now
went
where
well.
I'm watching streams and I feel like I've gotten too deep.
Dude,
Like, I'm
heck
sorry, not
yes.
streams. I'm watching
Venom.
recordings.
Oh,
Venom.
right.
Venom is
She
so
was
good.
Venom, going nuts. It was crazy.
Dude, yes, Venom's so good.
Venom is really cool.
Venom kills me all the time.
Dude, Venom's
Venom's
really,
really
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
50.
guys, 50th episode. It was wonderful. A bunch of wonderful whiskeys. Severance talk was great. Guys, like and subscribe. Do all the stuff in the YouTube, down in the doobly-doo. We're going to have a new, so funnily enough, we'll be featured on the next Icebox
Black Ice,
podcast.
Icebox.
Black Ice podcast. Yes, that'll be coming out on Sunday.
Bro.
And we're featured there, so we'll be in their YouTube and stuff like that. And of course, go check them out. We'll be
I
interviewing.
actually watched like the first episode of Black Ice podcast, and I gotta say, Josh, hilarious as ever. Great to listen
Dude,
to.
he kills it, man. He
He
kills it.
just does
Ha-
not
He
disappoint.
kills it.
Halfway through, he's like, Eric, you're here. I haven't even talked to you. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. It was so
It is pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Pretty funny. He's really worried that I'll become known in the judo space as White Ice.
Oh no.
So he's worried about that.
I would be too.
And I wasn't worried about it until he said that, and now I'm worried about it too.
I was worried about it from before.
I mean,
was like, that's
So,
kind of
Eric,
in
you
the works.
got a major concussion from white ice on the mountain. It just makes sense.
That's fair.
You know,
That's
you
fair.
don't see white ice when you're on the mountain.
So yeah,
Guys.
we're interviewing another really good judo competitor for Sunday. That'll be out on Sunday on their channel, and of course, check out all of our episodes over on YouTube and stuff. And with that, we'll catch you in 51, guys. Peace.
かわいいですね。
かわいい。上手です。
上手